Hello racing fans, this is NASCAR Racing Fan in 2015, and man, it feels really good to record some more audio, film another video for you guys. It's been 1 to 2 weeks, as obviously in the last week I didn't feel too good. I went on vacation or a trip, which we will get to that next week. But before that, I got some cars before around June, but now I'm posting it in July 5th. Of 2018. We have 3 awesome cars on this edition of the Paint Scheme Collab. As the first one, as you all know, this driver has had kind of a bluish, whitish design. Now he's going to a black design. We're going to go over that paint scheme that I got in the mail. There's another driver. This car has been hyped up for months, as this is obviously this driver's new big sponsor after the former red sponsor left. And now this car is finally out. It took forever, it took a whole 2 weeks for it to ship out, but now it's finally here. And in addition, well, it's 4th of July, so, you know, it can't be 4th of July weekend without having a patriotic red, white, and blue die cast, as we definitely have one on hand here. It's not the controversial one, but it's another winning patriotic design for a driver that's had a lot of controversy. So if you guys can guess some of those 3 paint schemes that I just mentioned, that'd be good. But for you guys that don't know, let's get this started and see if you were right. So the first car up is Trevor Bayne and his 2018 Advocare Ford Fusion. As this car, I decided not to get this from the NASCAR Authentics. I decided might as well buy it in the standard version. So, you know, all the cars can have the same type of quality, the same black interior for the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series. So I decided to skip on it, even though this car, this driver, this team might not be back in 2019. As Trevor Bayne, he was supposed to run the full schedule, but he has struggled horribly, absolutely horribly in 2018. So they signed on Matt Kenseth and Wyndham Rewards. So now they're running a part-time schedule, and basically Trevor Bayne's running all the Advocare races. So I should have probably just gotten the NASCAR Thanks version, but this car looks nice. Might as well. The black interior makes it look even better. Now, I don't know if this is better than the other ones. I mean, I certainly like this 2015 paint scheme. That one's probably my favorite. 2016 one was too generic. The 2017 one, if they would have used more of the colors and they would have had something other than a white background, that car would have been one of the best Advocare, probably the best. But I like the black design to it. It looks too much like Jimmy Johnson's Lowe's for Pros car, which is kind of annoying. But at the same time, the designs are cool. And, you know, we'll have to see what Trevor Bayne does in 2019. I think he might go to Junior Motorsports. That's a dark horse thing. I mean, if Advocare decides to stay with him and go down to the Xfinity Series, you never know. So if I give this car a rating, I'm going to give it a top 10 finish. I think it looks decent. I mean, it's a decent paint scheme. This might be the last Advocare car we get, and certainly it will be one that at least some people recognize. And here it is. Next up, we have Kyle Busch and his M&Ms red, white, and blue. This is from 2017. As you remember a couple of videos ago when I was reviewing the Kyle Busch M&Ms car, I was complaining about how the standard M&Ms car, the primary scheme for Kyle Busch, has only ran the Daytona 500, and that's it. Well, in response to that, I decided to pick up the patriotic car for Kyle Busch. This car has already ran more races than that M&Ms car. This was featured obviously in the Domination 600 when Kyle Busch completely murdered the entire field. We had that. And then obviously it was run at the Pocono race, the Pocono 400. That car, I mean, he ran top 10. I thought he was going to win. I thought he was going to win that race, but he got mired back in traffic, and Martin Truex Jr. ultimately won. And then Michigan, he had an average day. So This car's ran a lot of races. I really like the design on this car. I mean, I have 3 M&M's patriotic cars. I have Elliott Sadler's 2004 car. It's still in really good condition, which I'm proud of. I didn't beat it up as a kid. I have Kyle Busch and his 2012 M&M's car. I like the blue on that and kind of the navy appeal and something. But this one I really like a lot. It gives me some vibes back to those days that M&M's had back in the like early 2000s, mid 2010s, stuff like that. This is a really nice car. I recommend you get it, and I have to give it a top 5 finish. This is a really great paint scheme. The white actually works on this car. It actually works. It actually has a feel to it. Maybe they could have added, what, a navy M&M or something where the white M&M is or something like that, but I believe this car overachieves definitely in its design. It's a great patriotic car for the 4th of July. And last up, we have Kyle Larson. How ironic that we have a Kyle Busch. We go from Kyle Busch to Kyle Larson, as that's kind of how it's been in Kyle Larson's career, always being second to Kyle Busch. So anyways, this is his Credit One bank car for the 2018 season, the Chevrolet Camaro. Finally a Kyle Larson car. We got Jamie McMurray's ugly Cessna car on the PTC mold. I thought they were going to release on the EL, so I bought that and I couldn't cancel it in time, so I got stuck with that. We had Bubba Wallace and his last minute click and close announcement. Somehow that car came out before Kyle Larson. We had 3-4 Ryan Newman paint schemes come out before then. We had a bunch of other cars, a bunch of Chase Elliott's and stuff. But now finally, after all this time, and I know Chip Ganassi, they were late with the render, but finally we have a Kyle Larson car. And this Credit One car, I like what they did with the white on this car. Looks phenomenal. The blue, it's just a simple paint scheme. I'd say it's almost as good as the 2017. I wish they would have added maybe a little bit more light blue. It works on this car, but I feel like they could use maybe a little bit more. I'd say, yeah, this is easily the best Kyle Larson paint scheme. It's better than his DC Solar and his first Data cars. I don't know though, his patriotic car, that one was really good, man. That car was phenomenal, and I was glad I got to see that last weekend at Chicagoland. So anyways, if I had to give this car a rating, I'll give it a top 5. I think it's a nice car. I would recommend you get this car because, you know, you don't want Brian Cornell. You don't want that CEO and, you know, everything with the negativity of Target, and you don't want an outdated car. So definitely pick this one up, or wait for the DC Solar car. I don't know, it's up to you. But anyways, that wraps it up. I would say it's kind of I don't know who to pick for the first one. I really like the M&M's design. I really like that, but I also like the Credit One. I'll give the slim edge to the Kyle Busch one. I like the red, white, and blue. I think that paint scheme, it's just beautiful. And you see, once again, this is it. Once again, Kyle Larson comes in second to Kyle Busch. I mean, Kyle Busch has all but owned Kyle Larson his entire career. And once again, in terms of paint schemes, I have to give it to Kyle Busch. I mean, maybe I should get a Skittles car too, the patriotic, but maybe NASCAR Authentics. Lionel, if you are watching this, please put that Skittles patriotic car, the beat up race win, put that in Wave 11. Man, that's going to be some hunt. I would pick up that car in a heartbeat. That was just a phenomenal paint scheme. The America Mix car. And I also like just the damage, man. Maybe we have a 2-pack as well. I don't think they do this. A 2-pack with the Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson deal, and they have like the damage on them or something. That would be cool too. If you're listening, Lionel, make some money. But yeah, Kyle Larson comes in second, unfortunately. Great car, though. Still great car. And you got to remember Trevor Bayne. Yeah, the Advocare car, nice design. Even though he probably won't be there in 2019. I think Matt Kenseth will likely take over that car next year, and they will build towards the future with him. So anyways, that wraps up this video. So obviously, I have a couple cars that I recently picked up that I'll be reviewing in the next video, and you'll see where I got them. because I got them on the trip, and that'll be very interesting to say the least. But before all that, we have some exciting racing tomorrow. I was gonna post this on July 4th, but I got delayed in production. NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series Race 2 tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern Time. That is when we will post it. And man, I heard it was a big week for stop motion races, and certainly race number 2 of the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series coming out. We're gonna see if Daniel Suarez, can he go back to back, or could we see one of the veterans like Kevin Harvick or Martin Truex Jr. or Kyle Busch, or maybe even an underdog? We're gonna see what happens tomorrow at Atlanta. Obviously, a couple days after 4th of July, I don't think the fireworks are going to settle on the racetrack. So see you tomorrow. And once again, great cars on this edition of the Paint Scheme Collab.